Well, I realize by the time you see this video, it's going to be past the 4th of July. But happy 4th of July. Today is Saturday, the 4th of July. I hope you have an explosive weekend for those of you that can shoot fireworks off. In my area, no go on fireworks, even though I've heard a few of the illegal ones going off. For us today on the 4th, we're barbecuing. Going to be a good barbecue. We've got brisket hot dogs, pork ribs, and meatloaf hamburger patties. Swan's done up, homemade potato salad. We've got some sheet cakes, chips, and we'll do all right. If we can't have fireworks, I'll eat some baked beans and we'll have some explosions the other way. Luckily, I'll be out in the top most of the day. Welcome to stage 2 of the cemetery, aka graveyard rebuild. In stage 1, we went over making tombstones. Stage 2 is building the mechs for the tombstones. At least 5 of the tombstones are getting mechs, and they all need bases and stuff too. That can be staked down or weighted down or what have you. I got out here, got everything set up, got the shop cleaned, got my welding equipment cleaned because it had a layer of dust on it, and started right to work. And dawned on me, I forgot to open up the vlog. You almost got, hey, this one's done, this is what it looks like. The vlog, like I said, is going to be building the mechs. Now, I went down, bought supplies. I've got several diameters of square tubing. This one's a little bit larger than this one, and this one will slide down inside of that one. A couple of the tombstones I'm making, the mechs are going to be able to come apart. And that's why I got 2 different size tubings. I've got some 2 different sizes of plate as well. Some 2-inch and 6-inch. Now it's a matter of basically getting everything cut to size, welding it up, do the drilling and attaching and what have you. The first one we are doing is for the Celtic cross. It's probably about the most simple mech I am going to do. Basically, I'm going to take that skull, which was on Morgan's old tombstone, and we're going to fix it to a motor so it spins around in the gaps. So I basically need to make a base for it and a column to come up to hold the motor, right where I want the motor at. Simple, semi. I got my first piece cut. This piece here is 8 3/4 inches long, and it's the same width as the bottom. I gotta get another one cut and then welded together. But we're gonna get started on that. And I'll give you a look at the mech as well as the tombstone with the mech in it. Here. Okay, first mech done for the Celtic cross. It's a fairly simple mech. Use the reindeer motor, and I'm trying to get in here to get you a decent camera shot, so things are a little wobbly, sorry about that, but just a reindeer motor on the back. But I did the mech in 2 pieces. The mast here is 1 piece, and I got a bolt down here. I can take that bolt out and the whole piece will come off for storage. And then I did a little bit of a base. I put some tabs on it going out both the front and the back. I have a hole in it on each end on both of them so I can stake it down when it's in the gardens or on the grass. But the tabs are also long enough if I'm out on the driveway where I'm on cement, I could put a brick on it, either on the back or on the front to help hold it from flopping and wobbling in the wind. Now the skull used to be on Morgan's tombstone, and I just did a thin shaft going up, like kick around, and then put a bolt through here to hold it on. And it's not on there tight. I left it on there loose, so it will flop around as it's turning. And there we go. There's with the Celtic cross. And you can see the skull rotating behind it. Now, it looked a little bit too plain, so I went ahead and did some Spanish moss using some spray glue on it. And we were also noticing the PVC pipe that's attached to the skull was showing really good. So I went and put some Spanish moss on that and did a little bit of Spanish moss on the skull as well. But there's the first tombstone finally done. Couple of days work, but progress made. We got the mech for our next tombstone put together, and it's working. It's going on the obelisk one. The base of the mech here will be covered by the box. Then the obelisk sits up on top of this here with a shaft going through it, and I'm going to have something up there as well to add to it. But got the this all welded together. Did the last welds this morning, got it painted, and I had some soldering to do. One, I had 3 not windshield wiper motors, which is what I got powering this, and I had to get their pulse width modulators put on. And it's basically a switch. I can literally turn the mech off with it, or turn it on and control the speed. Now there's full blast there, and I'll never have it running that fast. I want it nice and slow. Probably right about there is about where it's going to be. But the motor is attached to the base plate here. Then I've got a metal nipple, 4-inch metal nipple running from a flange up to the bottom of this plate, where there's another one of those flanges. Then a metal plate with 2 screws on it that the obelisk itself will fit down on. Another nipple going up the shaft, which will run up the center of the obelisk up to another flange, which I'm going to mount the final piece to up there. And another one done. It makes 2 out of 10. 2 out of 5, you think I'm going to have 5 animated. But I finally found a use for one of my bulldogs. I got 3 of them sitting back over in the supply locker. Been sitting there for quite some time. Haven't had a use for them, and I figured I'd use these. So not too bad. Now, I got a pulse width modulator on the windshield wiper motor, which I think I mentioned in the last clip. That can control the speed. I can either slow this down just a tad more, or I could turn it up and have it really turning quick. But all in all, I think I like it at kind of that speed. It gives people a chance to read the names. I might slow it down a little bit more in the hunt. I don't know. But I gotta get the set dresser out here to approve it. But all in all, that one is now done. Well, another tombstone done. I decided not to do any mossing on this one. This is a memorial stone to my grandparents, and I want to leave it as is. But you should see up here, there's some rods sticking up. And that is for the mech. And I've got 4 half balls on here, all hooked up to an air jet. And that's all it does. This shoots up. Now I don't know if I'm going to put some cloth over these, so there's some substance to it. Or I was thinking about maybe putting an LED down here to shine up to highlight each ball as it pops up. But that I will handle later. Right now I'm controlling it with one of Scuba Spook's Scuba Boo boards, aka Tim Thompson on Facebook. Not sure if he's still selling these or not. They're a nice little item to have. I have like 15 of these boards now that I use throughout the hunt. But it was a fairly straightforward project. I've got some two-way air cylinders, one for each pole. Air comes in this side, goes out the other, and blows the balls up. I also did a manifold, made up a manifold, and yes, it is PVC pipe. You can safely use PVC pipe to do pneumatics. You just have to keep an eye on the air pressure that you use. Use too high of an air pressure and the thing can explode. Another thing you need to watch out for is when you go down to buy the PVC pipe. They have a thin wall and a thick wall pipe. Thin wall pipe is rated for up to like 150 pounds of pressure, or it might be 125 pounds. The thick wall is rated for up to 250 pounds pressure. And like with this here, I'm running about 90 pounds worth of pressure through it, so, so I'm well within the safety margins. And as you see, I'm having trouble with this one sticking. But that's basically all she does. There we go. And it just does that. That's all the Mech does. A lot of work to get it to this point. I actually saw this style on a vlog years ago, and I've always remembered it. But I figure that's fitting. And like I said, I can put some cloth over the balls, to highlight them. Or maybe do an upshot with an LED light. I'm not too sure how the LED light's going to work out on them. I don't know. But that's something I've got to play with, and I will do that when we're closer to Halloween. Or I just might leave them like that. I could also take some paint and paint them. But we'll see when we get there. I do not have another one done. I just literally finished a memorial stone to my grandparents yesterday. That was the one with the balls that pop up. Got that one done, got it out of the shop, got in here and got this one welded together. This is the mechanism I'm going to be doing for Morgan's tombstone over there. And I was just got done with all my welding and everything. I figured I'd test fire the pneumatic. It's not. Oh, I see what it is. It's the air pressure. But that is the Mech there. And I've got to get dialed in. Right now I am borrowing a solenoid from the Jack-in-the-Box clown in order to test fire this. I still, now that I know the Mech works, I still need to get some stake brackets, or brackets on there for the stakes off the front. And then off the back, I'm going to make the brackets a little bit longer because I need to make a mounting bracket to mount the tombstone to. And then I can put this into paint and then start on the prop that's going to be going on that bar. Which is one of those skeletons. I'm going to be messing around with that a little bit too. But this one's going real quick, so I'm liking quick ones for a change. I wanted to give you a little bit of a look of the Mech itself. And, let's see, where did I put that? Or did I think I put it away. I did one boo-boo on my ordering. Sorry, trying to get it out. I ordered some 5-way solenoids, which is what I'm using for this mechanism here. And most of the solenoids on my list are standard size, 1/4-inch ports. In other words, all these adapters and stuff that are on here are 1/4 inch. And I went on and ordered. Was not paying attention. The holes here where I attach those things to are not 1/4 inch, they're smaller. Now I'd ordered 3 of these. and I don't have the parts for them. You know, for all the fittings and stuff. All my fittings are for the larger size holes. So I ended up going through and ordering more solenoids. These I'm going to put off to the side. And maybe this winter when I go to do something or what have you, and I'll go ahead and order, you know, the proper fittings for those three so I can have them as a backup, if nothing else. But now that I've got that tested, it's a little bit after 2. Kaylee needs her walk, so I'm going to go do that. And then we'll come back in here and I'll get the cylinder off, the air cylinder off. And we'll get going on some welding on here to get this finished. Like I said, I've got 2 tabs to go out the front for staking it down. And then I've got a couple off the back I need to do with a bar across it for mounting the tombstone, and then we can get this one into paint. Oh hey, another mech done. Here's just the mech with the corpse skeleton on it, and I'm controlling it by the solenoid. I'm just hitting the test button right now, and then he pops up. Take the air off, and he lays back down. I need to do some adjustments on it. It's raising and lowering a little awkwardly, but it's working. Now we need to get the tombstone on, and we'll give it another shot with the tombstone. Not enough room to get all the way back, but there's the tombstone on it. One thing I do need to do is I want to buy a wig to go on that girl. It's supposed to be Morgan. She's a little green in the gills. She's a little bit too much Halloween candy. But let's try. There we go. Sorry, I can't run the switch and get far enough back to get a good good preview of it. But there we go. We actually got 2 tombstones finished this week. Now, with this one done, I can get it out of the shop. I've got to get the shop clean. I've got a disaster area on all my tables, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm having trouble finding things. So it's time to clean the shop up. I do, however, have one more animated tombstone to do, and that's that new sign with the circle, which will be starting on Monday. Today is Friday. I'm out of town tomorrow. So we're going to clean up our mess in here and get everything good to go, and we'll get started on it Monday. Hi, welcome to a very hot and balmy Monday. We had up in the mid to upper 90s all weekend. Today it's saying 99 is supposed to be the high. And I'm out in the shop getting ready to do some welding, which means it's going to put it over 100. Don't know how long I'll be out here. We did pretty good last week. We got 2 of the mechs done. This week we've got the one I've been saving it for last because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. And that's that one right there. I do know I need to make a base for it and a mast that's going to stick up here and an arm that's going to come over here. What I want to do as far as the animation on it is I've got 2 different things I can do. One, I can make it so the circle slides out this way, leaving a gap there with something in behind it. Or I can try hinging it so this whole thing pivots up top, so the circle will pivot up and revealing what's behind it. And that's kind of what I want to do. My problem is the piston. I've got a 1-foot piston on here. When this fully extends, it sticks out a foot. Now, if I do the side-to-side move, having it go out a foot, I can mount it here in the back, have it attached to the circle, and the circle will just slide out and slide back. That hides the piston. On the other hand, if I put a hinge here and attach this to the circle to get it to rotate up, the cylinder is going to show in the gap. So that ain't going to cut it, I don't think. I'm going to have some trouble doing that. I've got to kind of lay it out, mess around with it. So I'm not sure if I can get this cylinder, because it's over a foot long, where I can hide it and still have it flip. That would work the best. But If not, if I can't figure out how to hide the cylinder to get that circle to rotate up, I'm just going to make it slide in and out, I think. And to be honest, letting it slide in and out is probably about the easiest way of going about it. My thing is, what I'm concerned about is space. And I think I'm going to take up the same amount of space. You know, like it's right now, it's about 3 feet side to side. If I have it slide out, that means I need a space of about 4 feet, you know, for it to fit into. But then again, if I hinge it up top and have it flip out, I'm still going to eat up a foot to 1.5 feet worth of space. So I think it takes more space to flip it up and around instead of it having it just slide out. So I am not exactly sure what the hell I'm going to do. Been working out here, and I was right, it was a hot week. I think we hit 100 sometime this week. It's supposed to be up in the 90s today. So I've been out here off and on each day. I come out, work for a couple hours, go in the house for a couple hours, back and forth, trying to deal with the heat. But we've made some progress. I've got the mech completed, and it is pneumatic. I've got a pneumatic cylinder up here, which drives this shuttle out and back. And I've got it hooked up. I've been testing it. Let's see if we get you a good angle here. The shuttle goes out, shuttle comes in. And the circle will be attached to that shuttle. Hopefully. But we got this part done, so the mech itself physically is done. Now I need to start getting the pieces, the circle and its stand, attached. I also have some mossing I'm going to do. So we'll give you another look at it here in a bit, all assembled. And there we go. All finished. We went and got it mossed. So the Ghastly Rest Cemetery sign is finished. And if I trigger a button, it opens up to that. I can't get far enough back to trigger it. But there we go. My last big mech done. And I got it one more time here. I like that guy popping out. Yeah, I like him. That works out pretty good. And for the hell of it, one more time. So, we got the last big mech done. Now I am debating. I've got the smaller tombstones. Like this one here, Dan the Mailman, packages delivered anywhere. And I got Rip Van Winkle in there, a Rip, and then the 2 tombstones for the dogs. So far they're all to this state. I think I'm going to moss them up too a little bit. So we'll continue on with some mossing and get all the small ones done. Now I also saved one other old tombstone. It was Will's Crypt. I've gotten the hinges off the lid and I got the mechanism out of it. I think I'm debating on keeping that one. I'm thinking about repainting it. You know, to spruce it up, maybe do a little bit of mossing on it. And then re-putting the mech back in. I kind of like that one. So, I don't know. But I am going to get these mossed today and then pull Will's Crypt out and take a look at it. But, well, we are at an end, sort of. Okay. We got the smaller tombstones done. It didn't take all that long. There's Sassy's, the Rip, Suki, and then we got Rip Van Winkle. And he did rip a big one. And then Dan the Mailman, packages delivered anywhere. So they are all officially done. All the new tombstones are done. I'll give you one more look from back here. We got that one there, and that one there. And that leaves one old one. We now have 10 tombstones in our graveyard, all brand new. All except for Morgan's. And we're not, you know, depending on where we put it, we don't always have a lot of room. And since the mechanical ones are fairly big, I'm wondering if I'm going to have room for this one. This is one of my old ones that I kept. We had a hinge on the back and the lid popped up and down on it. I think I'm going to set this one off to the side and I'm going to save it. And then rehab it later if we decide we want to keep it or not. Or rehab it and reinstall it into the cemetery next season. You know, if we go to do the cemetery this year and we have room, you know, I could throw it back together, put it out as is. Putting the hinge on the lid and the mech inside of it is fairly simple. So, but we're going to keep hold of Will Stanton. So, but that is a project for another day. Painting on it will take probably about 2 days. And then detail work and reinstalling the mech part of another day. So I'm looking at about 3 days of work on it. Maybe less with the hot out here. The paint dries quicker. But I don't want to waste the time on it. So that's going to be on hold. So this ends stage 2 of the cemetery rebuild. Next vlog, which will be stage 3, and we'll be starting next week. So it'll be Monday. We'll get started with stage 3, which will be a totally brand new mausoleum. I've got most of my parts in for it. I still have to go down and buy some 2x2s and some foam. More 2-inch foam like that there. And we'll be doing that on Monday and getting in here and getting to work on Monday on stage 3. So with that, have a good one. Stay cool, stay spooky, stay toxic.